There's a quiet moment that happens more often than we admit. You're lying in bed, phone glowing in the dark. You scroll past engagement photos, job promotions, new houses, vacation snapshots. Someone your age just launched a business. Someone else is celebrating their second baby. Another friend posts about finishing grad school, and without even meaning to, your chest tightens. You start to wonder, what am I doing wrong? It doesn't feel dramatic. It doesn't feel loud. It just feels heavy. Like everyone else got a map, and you didn't. Like life is a race that started without you. And now, somehow, you're behind. Imagine a young woman sitting in her car after work. The engine is off, but she hasn't gone inside yet. She scrolls through her phone, staring at a college friend's post about buying a home. She whispers to herself, I'm still renting. I'm still figuring things out. Or picture a man at a family gathering. His cousin just got promoted. His sister is planning a wedding. An aunt asks him gently, so, what's new with you? He smiles and shrugs. Same old stuff. But on the drive home, the silence feels louder than usual. Falling behind rarely feels like failure. It feels like invisibility, like you're stuck in neutral while everyone else is shifting gears. And the worst part is, nothing catastrophic has happened. You're not in crisis. You're not falling apart. You're just not where you thought you'd be. By this age, you thought you'd be more stable, more confident, more certain, more accomplished. You thought you'd feel like an adult by now. Instead, you feel like you're improvising, so you start comparing, quietly, constantly. You compare salaries, relationships, fitness levels, savings accounts, confidence, even happiness. And slowly, comparison turns into a story. The story says, they're ahead, I'm behind, I should be further by now. And that story starts shaping how you see yourself. Here's something important to understand. Your brain is wired to measure progress by comparison. From an evolutionary standpoint, comparing ourselves to others helped us survive. It told us where we stood in the group. It helped us adjust behavior to stay accepted and safe. But today, that same instinct is being overloaded. In the past, you compared yourself to maybe a few dozen people in your town or workplace. Now, you're comparing yourself to hundreds, sometimes thousands, of curated highlight reels every single day. Your brain doesn't register that you're seeing filtered moments. It just registers status. It sees signals, success, security, belonging. And when it doesn't see those signals reflected in your own life at the same speed, it interprets that as falling behind. There's another layer to this. Psychologists call it the social clock. It's the internal timeline we absorb from culture about when major life events should happen. Graduate by your early 20s. Build a career by your 30s. Get married. Buy a home. Have children. Achieve stability. In the United States, especially, there's a strong cultural narrative about self-made success and early achievement. You're told to hustle, grind, build, level up. So, when your life doesn't match that timeline, it doesn't just feel inconvenient, it feels wrong. But here's what most people don't realize. The social clock isn't universal, it's constructed. It changes across generations, communities, and economic realities. Yet your brain treats it like a deadline. And when you believe you've missed a deadline, you don't just feel late, you feel inadequate. There's also something else happening quietly in the background. Invisible growth. You don't measure the way you've become more emotionally aware. You don't measure the boundaries you've learned to set. You don't measure the resilience you built after that heartbreak. You don't measure the courage it took to leave a job that drained you. Because those things don't come with applause. They don't show up in comparison posts. But psychologically, they are milestones. The problem is, You're measuring your internal journey against other people's external highlights. And those are two completely different scoreboards. What if you're not behind? What if you're just on a timeline that doesn't look like the one you were handed? Imagine life less like a race and more like a landscape. Some people climb mountains early. Some wander through forests longer. Some build homes by the water. Some take detours they never planned. From above, it might look like some are ahead because they've reached a visible peak, but from within their own path, they may be exhausted, uncertain, or quietly wishing for something different. The truth is, milestones are loud, inner alignment is quiet, and often, the quiet work you're doing now is building something more sustainable than rushing to keep up. There's a kind of success that looks impressive, and there's a kind that feels peaceful. They're not always the same thing. When you feel like you're falling behind, it might be a sign that you're measuring your life by someone else's definition. Ask yourself gently, if no one were watching, if there were no timelines, no social pressure, no comparisons, what would progress actually mean to me? Would it mean feeling mentally stable? Paying off debts slowly but steadily, learning how to communicate better, finding work that doesn't drain your soul, healing patterns your family never addressed. Growth doesn't always look like speed. Sometimes it looks like slowing down, enough to choose intentionally. And here's something deeply human. Your path will likely zigzag. You might start over. You might change careers. You might leave relationships. You might rebuild from scratch. None of that is evidence of being behind. It's evidence of being alive and responsive to your own evolution. People who seem ahead are not on a better path. They're just on a different one. And sometimes, the detours you resent today become the stories you're grateful for later. You're not late. You're becoming. So tonight, if that familiar feeling shows up again, if you catch yourself scrolling, comparing, shrinking inside your own mind, pause. Close your eyes for a moment. Take one slow breath. Your life is not a race against your peers. It's not a checklist to complete by a certain birthday. It's not a competition for who figures it out first. It's a relationship between you and time is not judging you. You are allowed to take longer. You are allowed to change directions. You are allowed to not know yet. You are allowed to move at a pace that protects your peace. The truth is, most people secretly feel behind in some area of their lives. The difference is, not everyone talks about it. But feeling behind doesn't mean you are behind. It means you care. It means you have dreams. It means you're aware enough to question where you're headed. And that awareness is not weakness, it's growth and progress. So maybe the next time the thought whispers, "I should be further by now," you gently respond with something softer. "I'm right where I need to be for this season." Not because everything is perfect, but because you are still learning, still trying, still showing up. And that, in ways that don't always make headlines, is forward movement. Quiet, steady, real. You are not behind. You are unfolding.